The Audio-Technica M50X headphones have been very popular and earned a reputation with home, project, and pro studio users. They're popular with content creators, and they get a lot of use for general listening. So if you're thinking about picking up a pair of these headphones, what should you expect? How are they going to sound? Let's find out. And so in this review, first I'll roll back the clock. I'll unbox these headphones for you so you get an idea of what to expect there. Then we'll do some audio tests. I've got a sine wave sweep, music, and spoken word where we're going to compare original recordings with recordings made through these headphones using my binaural mic. So you're going to get to hear what they actually sound like. Are they a true frequency response? Are they natural? They have boosted bass, boosted highs. You're going to get to hear that. After that, we'll do some game audio. Again, I'll record it on the binaural mic so you can get a sense of the spatial awareness that you're going to have with these headphones. So I do encourage you to wear the best set of headphones you have to listen to this review. It's really going to give you an idea what's going on here. After that, I'll take a look at the build quality, let you know just how well these are made, and I'll go quickly over the features and specs before I give you my final thoughts. All right, so we'll go ahead and unbox these headphones. They come in the usual Audio-Technica packaging here. It's nicely put together, not over the top, but just right. So inside, when we open it up, we're going to get a number of things here. We get all our cables in a pouch. There's actually a storage pouch as well for the headphones, so if you want to transport them, that's nice to have. Then we get the headphones themselves. They're wrapped in some plastic. Definitely included in some good biodegradable packaging inside as well. Keep them safe. Take a look at the pouch. It's, again, a standard Audio-Technica pouch here. It's kind of a pleather, has a tie top on it, so this will protect your headphones for you. Next, we'll open up the cables. This set of headphones comes with 3 cables, actually. We get 2 straight cables and 1 coil cable, so a lot of flexibility here depending where you want to use them. They have a locking end that connects into the headphones as well, so that's really nice to see. Then we get into the headphones themselves. Headphones, again, wrapped in plastic for protection here. Open them up. They feel nice. They feel a little more premium than some of the more basic models in the Audio-Technica M line of headphones. Good solid opening here. Headphones have swivel on them, so look pretty nice out of the box here. Everything is as you would expect. Some good padding on the top as well. Looks all right. Now, with all headphones and speakers, before I review them, I make sure that they're well burnt in. I let these run in for 24 hours with different programming through them. And in fact, I've had them for some time and used them for some mixing as well as tracking in the studio, general listening, even some podcast listening. So they're well run in. They're going to respond like a set that you've had for a while. So let's get into the audio test and see how they do. So for the first audio test, I'm going to use a sine wave sweep, and I'll record it first directly into the Scarlett 18i20. And now we'll do the sine wave sweep through the M50Xs. So looking at the frequency comparison, we'll start out with the linear here, and you can see that from 20 to 20,000 hertz, it's pretty reasonable. Reproduction's pretty natural across all of those tones. We have in the headphone recording some additional high frequencies above 20,000 hertz. Those are going to be harmonics, resonances that are produced by the headphones because they do have a higher frequency response. Those were not part of the original tone generated by the sine wave sweep. So those can give a little bit brighter, more air. And there's one of the things that often gives headphones a kind of a different sound that a lot of people sense but isn't necessarily part of the original program material. Now we'll take a look at the log analysis. Now we're looking at the log analysis here, and the reason we do that is because the log gives us a better representation of what we would actually hear versus linear. And you can see that from 20 to 20,000 hertz, the frequency response of these headphones is very, very close to the sine wave. So we're hearing what we're supposed to hear. Again, there's a few of those little higher frequencies here, but by and large, these headphones are actually giving a very true representation of the sine wave. Now, that's an individual frequency across the whole sweep. Next, we'll get into some music where we're asking these headphones to produce a lot of frequencies at the same time, and we'll see how they fare with that test. For the music test, we'll start out by recording music directly into the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20. All right, and now let's record the music through the M50Xs. And now we're looking at the frequency comparison using the linear method here again with the music recorded directly into the Scarlett AT920 versus the music recorded through the M50Xs on the binaural microphone. And you can see that the frequency pattern here definitely is very, very similar between the two. These headphones on a linear basis are producing the tones we would expect. And now we're looking at the log comparison again of the original recording versus the recording made with the M50Xs. And I can't really say that there's any single area here that I would have to, say doesn't sound or isn't producing the tone the way the original music was intended to. And that's why these headphones are so popular for use in a studio application, whether it be for mixing, because they really do give you a pretty accurate representation of the intended sound. So from a log basis, absolutely the M50Xs will reproduce music in a way that's very true to the original recording. Now, a lot of you like to listen to spoken word, to podcasts and that, so let's see how they fare with that. For the spoken word test, I've pre-recorded some audio. So first what we'll do is record it directly into the Focusrite Scarlett AT920. This is a sample of spoken word, so we can tell how the M50Xs reproduce dialogue. Now we'll record some spoken word through the M50Xs. This is a sample of spoken word, so we can tell how the M50Xs reproduce dialogue. We can see that overall the sound is there. There's a little bit of a scoop in those mid-lower tones, so that can actually give a bit of a scooped out sound when you're listening to actually spoken word again. So this is the first time we've really seen kind of any deviation on these headphones versus the original signal. But let's check out the log analysis before we make a decision here. And so now when we look at the log analysis, it actually lines up a lot closer. I mean, there's a little bit of information actually missing up in the highest end here. I don't really notice that so much when I'm actually listening to the headphones myself, but that's what the log comparison shows. Otherwise, pretty accurate throughout spoken range, but not 100%. So definitely the music comparison was a lot more accurate. The log comparison on the sine wave was a lot more accurate as well. Here on spoken word, we've got a little bit of coloration of the sound going on. Nothing that would be a problem. Now, let's take a look at some game audio and we'll see just kind of what the spatial awareness is like here.
Power items en route.
Now, these are not by any means intended as a surround sound set of headphones for gaming purposes, so don't expect what you get with some other types that have angled drivers or even multiple drivers trying to reproduce as much of a surround environment as possible. But certainly they can be used for gaming. They do give reasonable reproduction, and I hope the binaural audio test gave you an idea of what to expect. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the build quality on these headphones, and as you'd expect, they're pretty well made here. Pretty solid when you try to twist them side to side. The stepped adjustments on the side as well seem to hold in place, so that's quite well done. You can fold them up, of course, if you want to, make them really compact. So for travel, that's nice to have as well. You notice that both sides do fully swivel. That's also really good to have. So you get a lot of adjustment when you put these on, really comfortable. Clamping force is reasonable, but not too much. So, I mean, you're going to be comfortable wearing these for a while. The pads, the ear pads themselves are an upgrade over what you get with some of the more basic models in the line, like the 20s and 30s, even a little better than what you get with the 40s. So they will, they'll wear out, but they're replaceable. You get a cable on here, of course, that can be removed. That's a nice thing on these headphones. Comes with 3 different cables as well, so really good to see that. It inserts and then it locks in place, so you don't have to worry about it coming out. So overall, good quality, good build quality on these headphones, at least as good as what you'd expect for the price. Now for a quick look at the features and specs, these are a closed back dynamic design. They have an impedance of 38 ohms, so that's going to work with pretty much any kind of source you want. So if you want to use them with a phone, you want to use them with an audio interface, you don't need to have a special driver, special amp for this. Frequency response is pretty extended, 15 to 28,000 hertz. Sensitivity of 99 decibels with a max input power of 1600 milliwatts. You have 45 millimeter drivers here. They're copper-clad aluminum voice coils here as opposed to pure oxygen-free copper. That's a choice made here by Audio-Technica. The ear cups do swivel completely 90 degrees. It's collapsible. Leather ear pads. They come with 3 cables, as I said earlier, 2 straight and 1 coiled, so you're going to get a lot of choice there. They do lock in, so that's nice, and they're not going to fall out. And these are kind of a mid-weight headphone coming in at 285 grams. So I'll give you some final thoughts on these headphones. in the price range that they fall into, you actually get a lot for your money here. The performance, again, gives you a very realistic representation of what you're intended to hear from the original source. So I really like that. They are comfortable to wear, not the most comfortable headphones I have, but again, price has to be considered here. They can get a little bit warm to wear after a period of time, so you want to keep that in mind, especially with, again, the pads that come with it. You could change it out for a set of velour pads to be a little bit cooler to wear, but they are a closed back design. Now the padding is reasonable on the top, so like they're comfortable that way. No issues at all there. Durability is great. Again, we use these in our shared studio space. We've got a number of sets. Of course, these Audio-Technicas, we've got Sennheisers, Beyers, a real variety of headphones. Everybody likes something different, so we try to have a few different options for everyone. But they do hold up. They're really solid, well made. I do also like the M40Xs. I think they produce even a little more natural sound than these 50s do. And I have a review on that if you want to check that out as well. They're a little less expensive, and again, they're very natural sounding. But these M50Xs have really solid performance in the bass response and highs. You really get the sound. You get what you're intended to hear with them. So I really like them. Would I recommend them? Yeah, absolutely. At the price range they fall into, they're a good value for most use cases. And if you're interested in more headphones or audio production, check out one of the videos on screen. As always, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.